Now, here's a topic I like to bring up: payroll myth. Everybody's seen their deductions on their payroll invoice and say, "Well, wait, you're supposed to pay me this or whatever," and they'll say, "Well, we paid you that for that, but this is a deduction on all this." See, this is where at least the supervisor payroll, and it goes into all that. Please read this. When you're hired at a company receiving monies from an organization or accounts, they put it into an account. They're paying it into an account, and they're holding it within 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and then they can deduct at anytime they want at a whim. Now that's not right. According to the way the labor law is set up, is on your wages, you're to be paid your wages that you worked. Not to all this. Now, they started doing federal tax, state tax, and everything to make sure everybody was paying that and all this. And then they come up with this new thing for child support and all this other stuff because it's passing it off when the courts didn't want to do it and they didn't want to throw people in jail. Well, it breeds bad blood between a company employer and an employee. And this shouldn't be done because many of these innocent men are being judged and held accountable for, children they didn't want. And the Consumer Protection Act is supposed to protect people, consumers, from being charged for things they didn't order. And this falls on a woman's responsibility to be full disclosure, and that's fraud. And that needs to be addressed. This right here, all legitimate deductions are made at the time that you're hired. Any deductions that the company decides they're going to do behind your back or whatever, those are illegal and unauthorized deductions and are not warranted. And how you figure out your actual gross pay is take all the unauthorized deductions, minus it from your gross pay. Then that's your new gross pay amount. Then divide it by hours worked. That's your amount you're actually being paid by these unauthorized deductions. And the companies will argue with this and everything, but that's the way it is. I mean, they're violating employer trust by going behind your back saying that they have to do this. They don't have to deduct that money from you because they can just tell them, hey, I'm not going to get involved in my hourly employee's private life. And that's basically it. They're not saving any kids. These women need to be held responsible for their bodies and their actions and quit entrapping innocent men. Just because you had sex with a woman does not mean you got to pay for her right to reproduce if she was not forthcoming. It's her choice, her body, her choice, and they need to be held responsible for it. And this is DHS out of control again. And if we make women more responsible, and like it's sex discrimination because it's biased against men. Women aren't, they're equal now, completely. And since 1973, they've needed to pay their way, and they haven't. And if women are held more responsible, they can eliminate abuse, unwanted children, and men paying for it, and abused children later in their lives by stepfathers and the women themselves. It's just unforgettable. You guys have a good time. I hope this has been informative. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.